Hey y'all, I've had a few questions regarding the kayak and my setup. So I figured I would jump on here and make a quick video of how I've got the kayak set up. It's fairly basic, but at the same time, I had to make pretty much everything you see on here because nobody builds stuff for a catfishing kayak. So let's start with the front. I've got the Motor Guide XI3 24 volt. I had to take a base plate for, I think that's for a Jackson NAR, and I had to actually make it fit this, which is a Jackson Take 2. It was originally a 2-seater kayak, had a seat here and a seat here, and I stripped those down and left them at the dealership. Pretty much just your basic bow mount trolling motor setup. Like I said, I had to make the base plate fit the kayak. Got my launch rope. I just tie that to the trailer, back it in the water, and let it slide off the trailer, and then pull it up on the ramp. This is a box that I have built. You can definitely tell it's all dirty, but it is made out of marine board. If you guys use a musky bumper, it's the same exact material. I think it's actually probably the same thickness. But in there, excuse the noise, I got the battery on charge. I've got a 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium battery which powers my Lowrance graph. I have my bait fishing box. I have several planer boards. I have my black box for my active target, which is Lowrance's version of live scope. I think I have 8 sets of planer boards in there. There's a couple of flashlights in there, just odd and end stuff that I might need that I don't need every trip. Took me actually a lot longer to build that box. If you'll look, it's curved with the kayak, and I have that set up. So all I have to do is take these nuts off, pull the whole box out, and if I'm at a hotel, I can just carry that box in, charge my battery, my graph, my electronics, all my stuff is inside the hotel room. I don't have to worry about anybody stealing anything. Super simple, super easy. Come on back, I've got the Millennium seat. I made these risers to go on a new canoe seat bracket, and then I cut down the Millennium seat bracket for a boat, shortened the pedestal, made it fit the new canoe bracket, and then like I said, I put the risers on there because I'm 6'5" and I need a tall seat. It swivels 360 if I can get my hand in here to undo it. So I'm running around scanning with my graph, finding my spots. Then I just swivel around here, which is back to our next part, which is this rod rack that I've built. I can do 6 rods on the back for dragging. Let me zoom that out so you can see a little bit. If I'm dragging, I can have 6 rods in the back, drag 6 planer boards easy just off that rack. I've also got the side mount rod holders like you see here. I can run another board out each side on those. Allows me to drag 8 rods. I can do 2 rod holders or 2 rods in these rod holders and make it 10 rods. That's just a lot to keep up with. It goes through a lot of bait. Excuse the kayak, it's got cut bait and stuff all over it. I've been down here for a week and a half now. But under the seat, part of the reason I wanted it raised up, other than the fact that I'm a big old boy, I wanted under seat storage. So I have my tackle box here, which is busted all to pieces now because I used it for a cutting board. I have a small cutting board that I picked up at Kayak made by Extreme Bait Tanks. I keep that under my seat just like that. Easy access from the front or the rear. Then if I want to go and suspend fish or suspend drift or what have you, I use these rods on each side down in the 0 degree position, just like so. And then I use this center rod right here, this orange Mad Catz rod. I use it in this position, and then I'll have another rod out the other side over there. And I'm suspend fishing 3 rods. I used to do 4, but with this setup, 3 is about all you want to do because your lines end up tangling when you get a fish. I just upgraded to this cooler, which you can't tell because it's covered in bait juice. It slides under my rod rack. When I need a piece of bait, I just grab it and slide it out here like that. Slide it back. And then come on back here. I've got my transducer for my graph mounted in the back. I'm actually going to move that up front so I don't, and mount it to my box, so I don't have to hook and unhook my transducer wire in my graph. I can just grab the box and go. Come back here. I've got my 24 volt lithium battery. It's a 100 amp hour lithium. I can't remember the name, and it's covered up. It's a DJ, whatever the cheapest thing on Amazon is, like $500. I've had great luck with that battery. I ran my wires for that through the hull, but I drilled my holes in the caps on each end. So that hatch cap, whatever you want to call it, and this one here, I drilled my holes for my wires in that, ran it through the hull. So if I ever want to resell the kayak or change something up, those are like $10 to replace them. I've got all that sitting on a jet ski trailer, and I can show you from the front here. I've just got PVC bunks on there mounted straight directly to the regular bunks of the jet ski trailer. Works super great, loads super easy. That's about it. The only other thing I do sometimes, I keep that white cooler. I have another one at home. I had to buy that one while I was down here. I'll keep an aerator and a cooler up front here in this area for my live bait if I'm live bait fishing. But if you guys have any questions on how I did any of this, the rod rack, I get more questions about that than anything. I just mounted it to the track mounts. I put extra screws in these track mounts and Loctited them. A couple pieces of angle iron up to a piece of aluminum. I think that's 3-inch aluminum C-channel. And it's kind of hard to tell, but if you look down it, my rod holder's angled this way, and that pulls this outside rod just a little further back, leaves that inside rod a little further up, gives you a little more space between your reels. I do have another graph that I keep mounted here sometimes. I just haven't put it back on here yet. I'm actually probably going to use my iPad for that, put an iPad mount, and then I can link my iPad to my graph and do it that way. Well, that's going to do it, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up on here in the comments. Leave me your ideas, stuff you would do different. Anything y'all have question-wise, you can ask me in the comments section here, or hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I'm a little slow to respond. I'm always out here fishing, so I'll get back with you. It just may take me a day or two. Until then, y'all get out, fish around, find out.